Good afternoon, everybody. Glad you could join us today. And here's Stanley saying good morning. iOS 26.6.1 is supposed to be available soon. Well, actually, I think it's available right now, Stanley. Well, maybe not. I installed macOS 26.6.1 yesterday. So it's coming if it's not here already. So let's get started talking about Safari features. On Go for Lunch for August 11th, 2026, brought to you by GoFor Technology. I am Roger Harmon, your host, and we're here to make your technology work for you. Well, it's National Kinetic Sand Day. Sand. For some reason, I'm having a problem talking today, so please excuse me. So I didn't really know what kinetic sand was, so I looked it up. And you can squish it, you can slice it, you can flow it, you can mold it, you can pull it. So that's Kinetic Sand Day. So celebrate any way you want. So let's start off with just the basics. Safari is the web browser that's included in all the Mac operating systems. So it's on your Mac, your iPhone, your iPad. It's not on your Apple Watch or your Apple TV, but almost everywhere else. So we're going to explore some features that you may not know about. We're going to start off with privacy. So you can want to turn on prevent cross-site tracking and hide IP address so advertisers cannot follow you. And that's done in the Safari settings under privacy. So let's go there. So you go up to Safari in the upper left-hand corner. You slide down to settings. And then you click on privacy right here. And you want to check prevent cross-site tracking, and you want to check hide IP addresses from trackers and websites. The other option is trackers only, but probably websites is a good idea. And that will give you some privacy. So we're going to close the window here. So this is really handy if you have a long web page and you want to find something on there. You can jump straight to any word or on a long page just by hitting Command F. So let's go into Safari again. We're going to hit Command F, and you see a little field comes down here. We've typed in the word tools right here, and the word tools appears 3 times. So you just hit return, and for some reason, okay, there we go. For some reason it's not working. Let's try this again. Okay, well, what's supposed to happen is you get 2 little arrows over here to the right of this field. Maybe we hit the X and try again. Okay, for some reason it's not working. It worked earlier. So the way it works is you get 2 arrows right here. You get the message here that there are 3 different matches, and then you click on the little right arrow that should be right here, and it will, well, okay, it is working. So you can see here it has tools, Here it has tools. You can see a little white background. And then this website doesn't like to work here. So it won't scroll for anyway. That's live television for you folks. So that's the way it's supposed to work. You can try it and it should work for you. So let's talk about iCloud tabs. So when you have made tabs on your iPhone or your iPad, you can continue with those tabs on your Mac. So let's see how that works. So we're going to go back into Safari. And if this left panel is not open, you click on the little icon here. So there, now it's closed. Now you click on the little icon here, and now it's open. So you slide down to iCloud tabs. It might be hidden like that, so you have to hit this little arrow to open it. And then you have your tabs here. I have it for my Mac, on my iPad and my iPhone. So if I click on my iPad, I can look at any tabs that I had in on my iPad. So let's say we want to go to this tab here. All I do is click on it and it opens a page for New York Times Wirecutter and the best laser printer for home use. Okay, let's talk about saving a web page as a PDF. You might want to do that if you're trying to keep a receipt or travel booking or any kind of confirmation as a record. And the way you do that is you go into Safari. Actually, there's two ways to do it. You go up to File up in the upper left-hand corner. You slide down to Export as a PDF. And then it will give you the name of that page. You may want to change that. And then you click on Save. Also, another thing to remember is make sure you know where you're putting it. So I'm putting it in Downloads, but I could put it into iCloud Drive, or I could put it into Documents, but I'm going to put it into Downloads. So I'm going to click on Save, and now it's saved. The other way to do it is to go to File and Print all the way at the bottom. And then down here on the bottom of the print page, kind of towards the left, it says PDF. You click on that. And again, it gives you a dialog box with a name, which you can change. Again, you can tell it where you want to save it. You probably want to save it again to Documents or Downloads. And you just click on Save. So that's the way that works. So let's talk about profiles. So this way you can keep work or personal or even shopping, browsing completely separated. Again, you go to Safari Settings and you go to Profiles. So let's do that. So here we are in Safari. We go up here to the upper left-hand corner, down to Settings, and we click here on the little silhouette, which says Profiles. Then the first time you use it, it's going to say Start Using Profiles. So now you name a profile. So we're going to call this Travel. And then you can give it a symbol. So there's a little graduation cap there, a little briefcase, a little hammer, a little city, and look at all that. You can put any of those icons on your profile. So let's see, I'm going to do the airplane. So there we go. So we're going to create a profile. You also can change the color. So I'm going to make it red. And now we're going to create the profile. So now it's called a travel profile. And you can see here, as we close the settings, here it is. There's my background. You see the airplane is repeated all over the place. So now I can put in my travel websites. There we go. And hit Command T for another tab. And put in Southwest Airlines. And hit another tab, Command T. And put in Holiday Inn. There we go. I don't think that's the one I want. So we're going to go into HIG. HIG. So that's the, or I guess it's IHG. See, the Safari is smarter than I am. And so there's my hotel. So then I can set up another profile for something else by doing the same. And you can see here are my sites are listed right here on the left. So that's how you do profiles. And I'll get to your questions and comments here at the end. Okay, let's talk about reader view. Now, something strange is going on here. So reader view is, the idea is to clear out all the clutter, the ads, so you can just read the article in one readable text. So you do that by going to settings and websites. So if we go back to Safari, and we go up here to Safari, click on settings, and then go set on websites. So you can see here, automatically use reader view on the websites listed below. So like if I click here, so IHG is off. So if I turn it on, nothing happens. So for some reason, reader view is not working. So you can see I have it all on these sites I've been to recently, and it's not quite working. So we'll talk about that later. So let's talk about tab groups. So you can set some related sites without keeping 20 tabs open. And what you do is you go into Safari under File, and you go to a new empty tab group. So we're going to go back to Safari. We're going to go to File in the upper left-hand corner, and you see here we have new empty tab group. So that's going to put this this site into a new tab group, or it will put all three of these sites into a new tab group. So this is kind of like a profile, but it can be used in different ways. So I'm going to show you what I've done. So I'm going to go up here and open my side here, and we want to go to travel, which has 3 tabs. So you can see that opens and closes with a little arrow. And I want to go to my tab group, which I created earlier, and I can't find it. So there's my travel window, that's my profile. And I'm looking for my tab group, which I created earlier. And I can't find it. So much for that. There we go. Let's see if it's under Windows. And I think this is it. So there is one of the sites that I had in my tab group called News. Here we go. So here it is, personal tab groups. So I have a tab group called News. So I've got KOLD, KGUN, and KVOA in my tab group. So sorry that was a little awkward, but I think you get the idea. So let's go back to the next one. So you can hide distracting items. So that's including banners and ads. So before you read or print, you can get rid of any distracting items from a page. So here is a distracting item. So you go up here to this little rectangle with 2 horizontal lines underneath up here in the URL field. You click on that, and then the first thing is hide distracting items. You click on that, and then you can see here it's drawing a blue frame around the distracting item, and it's changing an ad right here. So now we're going to click on that, and wow, it disappears. So that's another thing you can do. So then up here now you have a little eyeball, and it says 1 item hidden. So that's how you do distracting items. So you can add websites that you use frequently to the dock. It's very simple. All you do is open one of them, and in one click, like apps, they'll be in the dock, and those are called Safari web apps. So let's see how you do that. So let's find a website. We're going to do Command N for a new page. And let's say we want to put Apple. Okay, so then we go to the upper right hand corner of your screen to the little square with the up arrow. That's the share sheet. And then you go right down here to where it says add to dock. I can't say add to dock. And then you can name it whatever you want. You click on add here in the lower right hand corner, and we will go to our Finder now. And we'll go to our dock. Come on, Doc. What's up, Doc? Oh, we're not in the Finder. Now we're in the Finder. Come on. Oh, I see. I forgot. The Finder's over here. So now I go down through my Finder and look at that. There in the lower left-hand corner is Apple. And of course, if I click on it, it goes right back to the same page. Okay. Sure, why not? Oh, look at this. We're getting into some... For some reason, this triggered a bunch of extensions, which are going over and over. So we're going to say allow for 1 day. Okay, we got rid of those. Okay. So that brings us to questions. And also give me a like if you would be so kind to help YouTube show this to more people. And if you haven't already, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down below and you'll be notified whenever we go live. So let's see what you have to say. You've been very active here today, so I appreciate that. So let's get up to the top here. And hello, Denny. Glad you could join this. Oh, look at that. You got a Neo for your daughter. That's good. I guess they're not that hard. Did you have to wait a while for that? And Leslie Ann wants to know what color. And there's Alice. Hi, Alice. And Denny said the only color available was blush, which is Apple's name for pink. And she's still seeing the kinetic sand ad. Oh, I think we were on that for a reason. And what memory size did she get? Oh my goodness, we're just curious about that Neo. And Leslie Ann wants to know what tags are. And we'll have to save that for a future topic, so I'll put that on my list. And we'll talk about that in the future. And Denny says he got the larger one, which is the 512. So that's a good choice. And Alice agrees with me. So he traded in a 6-year-old MacBook and got credit from a willing T-Mug raffle back in March. Oh, that's great. Pays to go to T-Mug. And Alice says that is cool. Trade-in is a good tool. And Leslie Ann wants to know, how do I delete a tab? Well, let's go to Safari and we'll do a Command W to get rid of that window. And we want to go to Safari. There we go. So we got to get to a... Okay, so to get rid of a tab, you have to mouse over the tab, and then this little X appears on the left-hand side of that tab. And so you just click on the X. Click on the X. And of course here you don't have any tabs. So you would have to close that with the red or you could use the close window right here. And yes, I want to close it. So that's how you close a tab. So Denny says he got $220 for his trade-in. That's amazing for a 6-year-old MacBook. Yes, that was a good amount off. Okay, so the way you make ads disappear, so I don't have any ads here on this page. So let's see if we can find an ad. It's actually hard to find sites with ads on them these days for some reason. I think my Safari is doing ad blocking. But let's go back to, let's do a new page. Let's go back to KVOA. So this is interesting. Their website can't find a page. So this should change here in a minute. Let's see if we can find another ad. Okay, so we're talking about making ads disappear. So we go up here to this little rectangle with the 2 lines underneath it. Click on that. And then the first thing is hide disappearing items. So click on that. And then as you mouse over things, you get a blue frame around them. And you click on it. And they disappear like magic. So I hope that is yes, we all find the pop-up ads annoying. Even Alice does. So this is a good question. Alice asks, is Safari the best browser for Apple devices? In my humble opinion, yes, because it is tightly integrated with other Apple programs. And so it works very smoothly with anything that you have. It is secure. By this time, we should all know that Google is selling your information to different kinds of brokers to target ads to you. So if you don't want your information sold, then Safari is a good choice. And so I would say yes. So Alice is using Chrome is most frustrating on your iPhone. Yeah, so Safari's on your iPhone. So you can definitely use Safari on your iPhone. And $220 are equal to 162.92 pounds sterling. That's good to know. And for the UK, that is high. And so she somehow got YouTube listed under travel when I did the profile thing, and I can't delete it. Okay, and Leslie Ann says thank you. So let's go back in here. And so here we are on our travel, but we deleted all of our travel. Let's see, here we go. So you should be able to, so this is a profile. You should be able to just hit the X and get rid of it. So if that's not working, give me a call and we'll go dive into it. Okay. Well, those are all great questions. Thank you for your participation. And if you think of anything else you want to know about, my contact information is coming up next. And you can give me a call or send me an email. So have a great rest of your week. Join us again next week at high noon for another GoFor lunch. Take care.